What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Squad Creative Podcast. I'm your host, Seak Parris. You can follow me at 12 Gone Apparel. Also, check us out here on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram at Squad Creative Podcast. Today, we brought out a special guest. But before we get to her, I'm going to let my co-host introduce himself.
It's Mike T's, the second half of Squad Creative Podcast. You can follow me at Mike T's on all social media platforms. And today, we are rocking with Squirrel Printz, a.k.a. SP Poke. How are you doing today?
Good. I'm glad that y'all invited me again a second time. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, most
Good
definitely.
to be back.
Man, you done did something everybody can't do since we saw you last. We get to that. Can you just give a brief history on who you are and what you do?
For sure. So, everybody that's new to me that doesn't know me yet, SP Poke. SP is really my first and last name, but you don't need to know all that. That's government information right there. But yeah, so I also go by Poke, which is short for Slow Poke. That's an old like childhood nickname that I got a couple of years ago, so I just still rock with it. Anyway, so yeah, I'm the owner of Squirrel Printz, and that's my little custom T-shirt business that I got. It's home based, but I actually have a shop in the. That's where I'm in right now. I actually have a shop in the back of my house, so um, I guess right now I'm pretty much known for like my hats, my custom hats or whatever, and I also do other little like custom T-shirts here and there. I come up with my own little ideas outside of doing whatever project somebody brings me.
But I like how you put that, my little home business. So let's talk about
Well, yeah. It's little now. I ain't gonna lie, it's little now, but yeah, it's based at the house. I don't have that whole 35 square foot, 35,000 square foot warehouse just yet. But
It's
yeah,
But tell
it's coming.
tell the people what you running up out that house though, that you call small.
Oh man, yeah, I got some things going on up in here. So it's like I've been right now like I got my embroidery machine, and that's probably like the newest gadget. I got that in February. It's a 12 needle. And what else I got in here? I got a hat press in here. I got a manual screen print press. Is 4 color, 2 palette. Yeah, I got that up in here. And then up in my house, I have a DTG printer and a vinyl cutter, a rolling vinyl cutter. So yeah, I got quite a few things going on.
Yeah.
And you know with it, them hats, you mentioned your hats. Before we get to
this is one of them I did right here. Proving
Y'all want me to pull
wrong,
something
yeah.
out? I mean, I can reach back. I mean, what you want? The other
Nah,
one just had
look, hey,
plain no hand.
I can reach over and pull
I
out
can
some
reach,
stuff too, but yeah, Mike had to come and support me real quick.
I remember you was giving away a hat. You had a contest, and I won, but I forfeited my hat.
Yeah, I remember that too. That was the beginning.
Yeah,
man, that's crazy. That's crazy too, because I have another squad hat. It's purple. It's purple and yellow that I have hanging up in my closet right now. It's like, damn, I was like, I want to give it away, but it low key matched this Kobe skateboard that I did. So it's like, I don't know, I just put them two together, but I still got another squad hat in the closet.
Yeah, for sure.
Set aside for the hats though, you know what? You didn't mention some other skills that we know you got.
For real.
The skateboarding skills, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Lifelike portraits you be drawing. Come on now. You got to give us all the secrets. You hold
Nah,
back a little bit.
I was I was just trying to keep it apparel related, clothes related. But yeah, I've been drawing since I was about 5. So that talent never really went anywhere. So yeah, I do portraits and comic book related stuff. I still do that stuff. I need to get back on it. I didn't kind of got lax on it, but I'll pull out the sketchbook every now and then yeah, like Mike said, I do skateboards. I got a skateboard over here real quick if y'all want to check it out.
Yeah, let's see.
It's my personal one because it's a squirrel. So, but I don't know if y'all can see.
Ooh. Yes.
Yeah, that's dope.
Fire. Straight fire.
Yeah, that's dope.
So it's squirrel. It's squirrel related. That one, I was like, yeah, I'm not selling this one. I just put it up in the shop. I'm probably gonna try to hang it up on the wall somewhere.
Yeah,
so you say you've been drawing since 5. Where do you get that from? You just picked up a pencil one day, or was you forced or pushed, or did you see something? Could you explain that a little bit more for us?
No, I think I don't know. It's just like it was just a natural talent because nobody else that I know in my family is artistic like that. I think I'm the only lefty in my family. Like I don't know, so it's just a natural talent or whatever. But what happened was, like, I'll tell you the very first thing that I drew was go way back, Star Trek. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Star Trek. Yeah. It's probably if you in your 20s or something, or you probably like, what the hell is that? Google it. But yeah, so Star Trek. So like I drew like the inside of the USS Enterprise or whatever. I drew that whole like interior and like some of the characters or whatever. And like I think I showed my mom that, and once she saw that, she kind of realized like, oh yeah, it's something about you. So, and then like just growing up with the homies in the neighborhood and playing video games and all that stuff, I remember like trying to draw concept, come up with concepts for video games and stuff like that. So I've always been just in that mode of artistic creativity with the whole drawing and stuff like that. So, and then like even in like when I got into high school, I had a drafting class. I took drafting in high school, and so yeah, it's crazy. I've always just been doing something where it has to do with a pencil and paper. That's been me my whole life. Yeah.
That's dope.
That is.
So recently, you were chosen to be on Gildan's board of decorators.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that experience, how you got chose, and how you felt, and and all the stuff like that there.
Yeah. So, like I was saying, earlier before we went live, so like I had been checking out the website or whatever for like a while. And I don't know if anybody's familiar with the Board of Decorators website, but it's pretty much like, it's like a resource type of site where it gives you like business tips, decorating tips, things of that nature, right? And so one day I just clicked on it or whatever, and it was like, it had like a little pop-up. It came up, it was like, join the board. And I was like, join the board? Like, what the hell is this, right? I clicked on it. It was like a form, and like reading through the little fine print on it, it was like, yeah, if you're selected, you're gonna be like basically part of this team, and we want to like get your insight on the industry and da 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 da. And it includes travel and all this stuff. I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'll fill it out. And like a couple of months went by, and I have totally forgot all about it. Like, that's the thing. Like, I'll be filling out so many things, like, forms and stuff like that, and going through my emails, and I just be forgetting about stuff. And so, anyways, a couple of months later went by, and I'm in the grocery store bored and shit, because I'm not really shopping. I'm with my mom, you feel me? And she do all the shopping. So I'm in the grocery store or whatever, and I'm bored. I'm waiting for her. I get this voicemail, and I had missed the voicemail. So I was like, oh, let me listen to it or whatever. So it was like, hey, this is so and so from the board of directors. They was like, you on the short list of candidates, and we want to have an interview with you and all this stuff. I'm like, what? So I hit them back, set up the interview, had the little interview, it was via Zoom or whatever. They was really feeling me, what I was talking about and what I'm trying to do with my business, as far as the eco friendliness and basically my goals with what I want to accomplish in this industry, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they was really feeling me. So like a couple of weeks later, I guess after they had filtered through it, all the other applicants they were considering, they hit me back and they was like, yeah, you're on the board. And I was like, what? And it's kind of crazy because everything pretty much accelerated after that because they were like, yeah, we're going to be traveling and you got to get your passport together. And I had already had a passport, but it expired. So I had to hurry up and expedite that and all this stuff. So, because they was like, yeah, we finna go to Honduras. And they was like, you got to get your passport together. So I was like, okay. Hurried up, got that done. It was like literally like last minute. I think I got my passport maybe 3 days before we were scheduled to leave.
Yeah.
So got that together. So first we went to North Carolina. We spent 2 days in North Carolina because Gildan has a facility out there.
And how was that facility out there?
Oh yeah, so it's huge. They have it broken down into two. Because we actually went to 2 facilities in North Carolina. So the first one we went to is like where they break down the cotton. Like it's literally like bales of cotton. It goes on for forever, right? All these bales of cotton, and then they clean the cotton and they turn the cotton into yarn. So it was interesting to see that whole process. It's like a whole automated process where how they turn these. The cotton still literally had like dirt and leaves in it. And then to see it to be filtered and all that stuff and turned into yarn and these sheets of yarn, large sheets, is like it was crazy. Like I can't even explain. I'm trying to see how I can explain to you guys just how big this facility is. Like I was like blown. Like I think everybody's minds were kind of blown because we weren't expecting it, right?
Right.
And then from that facility, we got to see. We went to another one that was in a whole nother city in North Carolina, and that's where they do the distribution. So all you see is like it's just stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks of boxes, like of just shirts, that's waiting to be, not even shirts, but like the I guess you could say like the shirts is waiting to be shipped. Okay, because it's kind of like I had to go backwards a little bit because the distribution center is in North Carolina, so it's already shirts is already like sewn together. Yeah. But when we got into Honduras, that's where you actually see the whole sewing being done, the whole dye process, how they dye the shirts, all of that is being done in Honduras. So. But just to see that whole operation, like how they do their distribution, and let me see, that was also in Honduras. So we did those two. We did those two in North Carolina, and then we had to catch a flight to Miami. And then from Miami was just pretty much like a layover. But from Miami to Honduras. And the crazy thing, let me tell you guys about Miami, the Hurricane Ian was going on, right, around this time. So it was just about to make landfall, I think, near Tampa. What happened is, like, when we got on the plane or whatever, we getting ready to take off. We sat on the tarmac for like a good hour. Wow. And like the pilot or whatever, the captain, he never said nothing. Like he never like got on and said, "Hey, this is the reason why we sitting here, why we haven't took off, what's going on. So it's kind of like it's raining and everybody's antsy and shit. We know it's a hurricane coming, so what's going on, right? Finally, we took off or whatever. I thought it was going to be mad turbulence. It wasn't. It was cool. It's like, once we got above the clouds, we was good, right?
Yeah.
But I kind of just figured that we were sitting there because he was waiting for the weather to kind of clear.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the only thing I could figure. Like, why were we sitting there for a whole hour, right? Anywho, so we take off or whatever, and it's crazy because I learned later on that as soon as our flight took off, they started canceling flights.
Oh wow!
They literally started canceling flights, so we had made it out of there like just in time, right? We get out there and it's cool. It was a trip seeing, to me, I don't know about anybody else, but to me, it felt like I was in LA.
But why is that?
Just the culture of it, like just seeing like that whole hustle with the street vendors and just hey, we finna set up shop right here in this dirt road and it is what it is. It's the same shit out here. Like, it's crazy, right? And I was like, wow, that's a trip. I think the only thing that kind of like blew me was like they like, I guess like the police or the security out there, like they're just out there like just out there with the guns, like try me if you want to. Like there's no barrier. They just out there like try us. And I'm like, oh shit, like they for real, right? So yeah, that was it. That was kind of like that was a trip to see. That would be like the LAPD if they was just standing on the corner with the guns and shit. It'd be like, they kind of covert with they shit, but out there they don't care. So that was a trip to see. But anyway, so we get to the hotel. Hotel's real nice. Everybody got their own rooms or whatever. So basically, that first night there, we didn't really do nothing. We just went out to dinner, and the dinners were crazy because we were like maybe like 20 deep. Because the group, the board of directors group for this year is, I think we're like 11 people, and then you had like the higher ups, some of the execs and all that stuff was with us too. So yeah, the first night I think we went to like an Italian restaurant, and that was kind of crazy because the menus were in Spanish. So everybody was like, "What is this? I don't know what to order. Like what we don't know what this is, right?" So like one of the members, she's actually Hispanic, so we was kind of leaning on her heavy to like explain everything to us. Like, okay, what is this? And we want to make sure that we not out here ordering eels or whatever, right? Like, what are we ordering, right? So, so that was a trip. So the very next day we get up bright and early, and then we go visit the facility. This one, I think, it was like the dye process. Like it was like showing, how the whole dye process, like how everything, you turn the cotton into polyester, and you turn it into this yarn or whatever, and then you have these gigantic, they almost look like washing machines, but washing machines on level 1000. This whole dye process that they go through with the different color. You see, like, how you get your reds, your blues, your teals, your with green, whatever, right? I don't know if you guys are familiar with comfort colors.
Yes.
But that whole process with them, and especially like with the color blast, I actually have I have a shirt that kind of show kind of like how it gets that tie dye effect on their shirts. Yeah, they do that. And then you see, what else did we see? That again, it was another huge, gigantic facility. I mean, I think I've never done that much walking in my life. It was a lot of walking.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I know it's some stuff you probably can't talk about, but Well, being on the board of directors, are you getting to pick the colors, or on the board of decorators, are you getting to pick colors to be made, or like special materials, or like
what are some of the perks?
what are some of the perks? Yeah.
So we do get a little bit of intel on like what's coming and like the next not the next quarter, but let's say like the next season. So like for 2023, some of the styles that'll be coming out, we kind of already know
Okay.
some of the items that'll be coming out. And then we do get to like state our input, like, okay, can you fix this? Or can you, basically, can you make these adjustments or fix this? Or, hey, how about adding this to the line or whatever? So, because we did actually have like a real board meeting, where it's like this big round table, and we kind of like got to express some of our thoughts so far about some of the products that will be coming out next year, or some of the with like what is some of the issues maybe with like the Gildan 5000s or like the 6400s or something like that. So yeah, we do get to like add our input on things and like that. Like I said, like we do know like a couple of things that'll be coming out that I can't really speak on because it's like not in production, but they're like basically like blueprints is laid out. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
So after seeing all this, how did that change your perspective on the t-shirt business?
Man, it's just like it's so expensive. Like it's because like before this, I don't know about anybody else, but I didn't really think about like you see a shirt or whatever, and you just be like, yeah, this is a shirt or whatever. You don't think about all the steps that go into this shirt. Like every single step from the freaking cotton ball to this to this to the sewing because every piece of a garment is handed off to somebody. So it's not even like one person making this hoodie. You feel me? Like this hoodie was probably made by like 5 different people because you got one person doing the sleeve, the left sleeve. You might have another person doing the right sleeve. You got somebody doing the hems at the bottom. You got somebody actually attaching this hoodie area. You got somebody doing it. It's like, I don't know. It's crazy because it's so many hands into making just one garment. And then to see like how many garments are made like per hour or per day or something like that. Like I don't know it.
Making per day, if you remember.
How many per day?
Yeah, or hour or whatever. Any of the numbers you can remember.
Oh, I think I want to say it's like, was it like 30,000 an hour or something? Like it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a whole lot. I was like, damn, like this is crazy. So that's how I was saying like earlier, it kind of make you feel like an ant. Even like just going to like the distribution center, seeing how high these boxes are stacked up and going through these little tunnels and conveyor belts and all that. It makes you literally feel like an ant in the system just to see just how big this whole operation is. It's like a trip. I'm telling you, I think everybody in that group was like kind of like in awe, like, damn, what the?
That's a trip.
Yeah, it is a trip. And then, to have it broken down like that, because it was like 2 facilities in North Carolina. Then you got these 2 facilities in Honduras. And then I think they have another one because later on next year, we're supposed to be going to Barbados. And I think they got it set up out there. So it's like, and then I know because Gildan was based in Canada. Yeah, it's expansive. It's deep. It's real deep.
So Gildan originates from Canada?
From Canada, yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah,
So
that's a trip.
You're going to where?
Barbados next year.
That's
Hey.
dope. So with the board of
Yeah.
decorators, it's an ongoing thing. It won't just be this one time, huh?
Oh yeah. No. So I'm in it for the next year. It started in September, so it'll be ongoing until August of next year.
Oh,
Okay.
how long have you been in the t-shirt business?
Which has been about 3 years now. I think 1 year full time because I left the 9 to 5 last year in March.
Driving.
So yeah, driving the bus. So yeah, 2 years before that, I had already started, buying my equipment and everything and all that stuff, and getting Squirrel Printz started. That started in like 2019.
So 2019. Did you think when you bought that equipment and making a t-shirt, it would take you all the way to Honduras and beyond?
Oh no way, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like that's the thing. Like this year has been phenomenal for me. I like just all the developments because even outside of this thing with Gildan, I've also been in like right now I'm currently in another program, a cohort. So like earlier this year I
That's
was in one. Yeah, earlier this year I was in one. It was called Lacey, Clean Tech Incubator. So it's basically like a business program, but it kind of like focuses on companies that are, clean tech based, pretty much care about the environment and stuff like that. But they also mess with other businesses, but that's their focus. So, just to kind of like joining that group, it has really opened my eyes to like the whole aspects of business in general, like how to handle business, coming up with business plans, really, really figuring out your why, or, why are you doing this? And your market. Just joining that has been like a blessing because, I've met, it's like I have all these groups, like you guys are a group, the squad is a group. So, that I had that group connection, and then I had that group connection with them. And then I had this group connection with the Gildan, right? And now I have another connection, that I'm currently in. This is with USC, and USC, well, everybody should know who the hell USC is, like the college, right? So, University of Southern California. So I'm in that little business program. And again, it's like, even though they're kind of like reiterating the same thing I already learned in this other business group, it's like, it's the connections is like what I'm really focusing on. So, a lot of people be like, why you keep joining these programs? They not paying you. And like, I even got asked, hey, is Gildan paying you for this? And it's like, no, it's not even about the money. It's the connections. Cause
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? You get with these people, these higher ups and these execs and stuff like that. Like they remember you, you know what I'm saying? So you have to build that relationship with them. And it's like the reward is going to be greater than any amount of cash in the long run.
For sure.
So like it's like I'm grateful for all of this. It's like I'm still pretty much low key, so I don't put myself out there as much as I should. But the thing is like when I see opportunities, it's like I immediately apply for it, and it's like I might forget about it, but it's like, it's like it come back to me. So it's like pretty much everything I have applied for in the past year, I've got.
Period.
And
so how
go
does
ahead.
one apply though? Because you're getting these once in a lifetime opportunities, man. And I don't know where your application search engines at, or how you other than being in a group, but how do you apply for things such as this?
Yeah, it's just because like I have one of my good friends. I think I mentioned her before. She has a salad business, so she sends me a lot of links to stuff. She's like, "Oh, they got this business program. You need to apply to this." And da 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 da. And I just sometimes I find stuff just on my own because like I said, I spend a lot of time on Google like just researching the hell out of stuff. Like even if I think I know the answer, I'm still gonna find another resource just to see, oh, okay, is this info that I got over here, does it line up with this info right here? Okay, does it line up with this over here? Okay, cool. And before I'm satisfied, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't know. It's like I would say that like anybody out there is like just search like within your city because it can't just be LA with all the opportunities. You know what I'm saying? Like wherever you live, you have to reach outside of like t-shirt related stuff. So some things is like it's not all about the t-shirts or apparel. It's like if it's business related, fuck with it. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's gonna help you in the long run. So even if it's not exactly BTF or whatever, or it's not vinyl or it's not this, don't just like bypass it. It's like you have to like reach out for different areas in order to get to where you're trying to go.
Right.
So like that's the thing. So it's like now it's like I don't even necessarily be looking for like t-shirt related opportunities. I just be looking for business opportunities. It's like, okay, what is business related that I could turn around and flip that knowledge and use it in my t-shirt business.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So that's how I be coming up. That's how I been like finding this stuff. And like I said, and my friend, like she's like deep into it too. So it's like whatever she find, if it be grants, grants, programs, she just sent me the link to something else that programs where students from another university that'll come and like help you with like your social media marketing. They'll come in and, like help you with that and stuff. So, it's like little things like that you have to look and be like, okay, well, how can I apply it to my business?
Right.
So
you just dropped some game on us though. Right there. Yeah. Gems there, that whole thing you just spoke. So, how do you pick what equipment you want to buy? How do you know it? How are you getting your info on what to add to your business? Because I've seen you expand in a couple years that I've known you, like pretty well.
I think it's just whatever I have an interest in. Like I knew maybe like after my first year buying like the heat press and like the DTG, I was like embroidery. Like I knew that I wanted an embroidery machine. I just didn't know what brand. I really didn't know anything about embroidery. Like I didn't even really understand the 12 needle, 6 needle, 15 needle. I'm like, what the hell is that? I don't know what that is, right? But it wasn't until I was dead serious about it, like, oh my God, I want an embroidery machine. I'm gonna get one this year, whatever. Going to the trade shows and stuff, that's another thing. Go to these trade shows. I just missed one, the one in Vegas.
Yeah.
The Print United. Go to those things. Until you have to expand your mind. You have to get outside of like, the fake. Like I feel like a lot of people are stuck on Facebook. Like they get all the info from Facebook. Oh, how you do this? Oh, let me just go to Facebook. No.
Mm-hmm. So
get away from that. Start going to these shows. Start meeting folks. Start playing around with this equipment. See it in person. See it live. Don't just go to the heat transfer warehouse and check out their little site and be like, oh, no, start feeling this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you could be like, okay, even if I don't have the money right now, oh, let me plot on it. So next year, okay, this is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm gonna go get.
So I'm gonna tell you, LA about to roll back. Long Beach about to come back. You ain't hiding from us this time, Squirrel. Last time you didn't say hi.
Hey, listen.
We going to lunch. You gonna show us where to eat something good? Or something.
Yeah, I know, cause I'm definitely gonna be at the ISS in Long Beach, cause the whole little Gildan crew gonna be we gonna be mobbing deep, so I'm definitely gonna be at that one.
Awesome.
Shoot, no, I'm gonna be there. So y'all rolling through this year too?
Yeah, I think I'm back.
Okay. All right.
good LA eating or something at the least. And also, with the board of I keep wanting to say directors, decorators, did you make any close personal relationships with any of the people on the board?
I've kind of connected with his name is Pete Easy. I think his business is Easy Did It, and he's based out of Atlanta. He's dope too. I think he's been screen printing for the past. I think he got 20 years on him.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
But like right now, like he messes with he does like some neon installations. He messes with those little neon lights, and he comes up with signs and things like that. Yeah, he's pretty dope. I said I definitely was like, yeah, me and you need to link up on like a whole nother trip, separate trip. There's another one. I can't think of, Jessica. She's based out of Texas. She's pretty dope. As far as like, cause her whole thing is she's not so much decorating nowadays. Her thing is she's trying to motivate and promote other women to start their business and all this stuff. And she calls herself a print broker. And her business is the Color Pop Studio. Yeah, she's pretty dope too. My other girl, AP, I'm gonna just call her AP. I think she's based out of Ohio, and her company is Denim Rush. And so she kind of does like a lot of cut and sew. I think she also does. Huh?
I've heard.
Yeah.
I was reading her article today on the board of decorators, but I've heard of her company. I don't know where I came across it.
Yeah. She's real dope too. That's crazy because when we landed in North Carolina, me and her, we pretty much landed together. I think she was coming from Ohio or she was coming from New York. I don't know which one. Mm-hmm. But we pretty much landed in North Carolina together. So, we rode a hotel together and ate dinner together. Yeah, she's dope. Everybody is dope, you know what I'm saying? But it's like different levels of, because like some of these guys, I mean, they got, like I said, 35,000 square foot shops popping, you know what I'm saying? And then, so everybody's like at a different level, but we all have, of course, have something in common, and we all have something to contribute as a whole, as a group.
Right.
So so that's pretty dope. So it's like nobody's like, on the same level. It's like, I told everybody there, I said, shit, I'm like the baby of the group. They like, how you figure? I was like, man, I ain't got nothing on y'all. They was like, don't even trip. They was like, but when I started showing them my work, they was like, oh yeah, okay.
Oh,
it's one of a kind. SP, you get a lot of designs with these hats, and they're off the hook. And I'm switching subjects now. I need me a sea hat with the ghost and the bullets chasing the sea. Now we did the LA one, but we keep getting talked about the Browns over here, so I gotta show them that we ain't playing no games, and we gonna win eventually. And I'm gonna need it in the Browns colorway. So, but all seriousness, so I need to ask you this: when it comes to creating your one of a kind hats, where do you get the inspiration and the design for the hat?
I think I just again, with just doing a lot of research, I just come across images, and it's like when I come across the image, it's not even like, I think I kind of like formulate in my brain like, okay, yeah, this will be dope on a hat, or this will be dope on a sweater or a hoodie or something like that. And it's like I really don't even have it all pieced together until I actually physically start doing it. Like with the pumpkin spice hat, with the pumpkin and the shy guy and I don't know. I just seen one image, seen another image, put 2 and 3 together, and there you go. Like that's kind of like how it works. Like I don't even have like a whole. It's like I go with the flow. Like even with this skateboard, like I didn't know how this was gonna come out. I just kind of started with one thing, then went to the next. Then when I was like, I add 2 or 3 things, and then next thing I know, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna add the leaves, or I'm gonna put the leaves up here, or whatever. Like none of this stuff is like plotted out. I just go with once I start it, I just go from there.
Spoken like a true creator.
What do your custom hats start at?
They start at 35. It really just depends on how much work I'm putting into them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, 35 would be like a base price. Yeah. And then I know like I like to like mix elements. So I might mix embroidery with vinyl, or vinyl with DTG, or something like that. That I like to do that a lot too. I don't know. I can't even like bring up a prop. Oh, well, I got this. Like, so I know y'all seen like the little duffel bag, right?
Yep.
Oh snap! I know. So like this. Oops. You put it in the camera. My bad. But the words, like that's embroidery, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then my squirrel logo right there, that's DTF.
Oh,
hey.
And then like right here with the little acorns, that's vinyl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like I like to mix different things and just kind of like put it together, like whatever I feel like will be the easiest for me to do to decorate it.
Mm-hmm.
And it like most of the time it all comes together, like it all works together. So I tend to do a lot of that while I'm mixing like different medias.
It looks good though, like with the different medias, textures and different stuff.
Yeah.
You have accomplished a lot in a small amount of time. Just hearing, I would have swore 10 years, especially with the t-shirts, or like 15 years, but to do what you have done in the last 3 to 5 years is amazing. And there's people out there that may be looking for inspiration, or I'll take it for myself. I look at some of my videos or some of the things that I'm doing. I'm like, man, I ain't getting no views on this one. But there's hope at the end of the tunnel, knowing in 3 or 5 years, I could be on the board of decorators. I want to say director so bad, but, due to application process, or, as far advanced as you are. And it's almost like looking at it from a crafter or a person that's just actually inside their house. How do we get to that other side? You're the true definition of that, because you're on the other side. I mean, you started in the house, and now you've been to hot doors talking about going to Barbados and
Yeah.
Right,
I mean, it's tripping me out, honestly. Like it's tripping me out because I'm like I've been sitting here trying to figure out like, okay, how did I get here? Cause like honestly, you guys, like I don't know. It's like I feel like sometimes I feel like some of my work is I don't know, like it doesn't reach the right eyes, or like I don't get as many views as like maybe somebody else, and I'm like what's going on, like why I can't get these views or whatever.
But listen, before you go on, one thing is you never know. You might got 5 views, but you might not know who them 5 people are.
5 people are, yeah.
Like I'm learning. Like people are watching. It's not a whole bunch of views, but the right eyes are watching. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Somebody that you least expect is paying attention to what you're doing, because what you do is great.
Yeah, and and I'm like learning to like see that, like, okay, like, cause like I'm telling you, one of them nights when we was in Honduras, it was like after dinner, right? It was after dinner. Everybody was like so hyped. This is like the second night, right? Everybody was like still so hyped. I think everybody was kind of like, damn, Like, we out here, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, after dinner, we went back to the hotel, whatever. And, like, instead of everybody going back to their rooms, like, we still wanted to chill. So we went out to, like, the patio. We was hanging by the pool and all this stuff. You know, had a couple of beers or whatever, drinks or whatever. So everybody was just, and I was just kind of, like, sitting there. And I just sat back and I was like, damn, like, this is a trip. Like, why? Like, how did they pick me? Because I was like, I think they had like 100 and like almost 200 candidates, right? That they had to sift through. I guess maybe over 200 people applied.
Yeah.
And to get picked out of all these people to drop down to be one of these 11 people, like, how? Like, and so, I was texting my best friend, right? And I was like, this is so crazy. He was like, you deserve it, right? And I was like, what you mean? He was like, you deserve it. He's like, you need to stop tripping. And I was like, okay. He was like, yeah. He was like, trust me. He was like, people see the work. He was like, you might not think they do, but they do. Yeah. And he was like, they saw something in you. Like, it was not, maybe they wasn't tripping off the fact that you home based or whatever. It's your creativity. It's your future plans. It's it's the way you talking. It's the things that you talking that they was feeling. They was feeling something in you that you might not see in yourself. And when he said that, I said, "Damn, that's crazy. Like that's real shit."
How you keep your emotions at bay? I know I'm an emotional person, so
yeah.
Like, you know what? Emotions at bay. Yeah.
I don't know. I felt like I wanted to cry, but I wasn't gonna do it. But yeah, you know what? I'm like super emotional too. I'm a Pisces, so I'm super emotional. But I don't know. I think I was just kind of like really trying to figure it out that night. And to be honest, I'm still trying to figure it out right now to this day.
Yeah.
Like,
big volumes though. I mean, that just show you like you got 200 people in the whole wide world, and you're picked out of 11 people out of 200 plus applicants.
Yeah. Yeah.
Applicants, you know what I mean? And like, it just shows you what you do it means something. Again, it goes back to you don't know who's watching.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They saw you, even though your views didn't match. Your views didn't meet your expectations. They saw you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, I'm just beyond, like, I'm over the moon. I really am. I'm super grateful for like everything, like all these opportunities and stuff lining up. I'm like, at first when I quit the 9 to 5, I was kind of leery because I was like, damn, am I making the right move? And I'm not gonna get this steady paycheck no more. And how this gonna go? And oh my god, it's like that. That was the start of it. When I said fuck this job, no disrespect to those that's keeping the 9 to 5 and the side hustle going. I'm with that too. But for me, that was like probably the best move I could have made because none of this stuff would have happened. Like, I wouldn't have been able to go do this with Gildan if I still had the 9 to 5. I wouldn't be able to get the time off.
There you go. The opportunity wouldn't have presented itself.
All this stuff, like, really like putting the effort through to like find these little opportunities and actually apply and see what happens. And it's been a couple of grants that I didn't apply for.
Yeah.
I haven't got any grants yet. That would be nice, But yeah, shit, I'm telling you guys, start putting your name, start filling out these forms. And you might not even hear back in the next week, 2 weeks or whatever. I was telling my homeboy that too, because he got that issue. He's like, man, I'm applying for this stuff. Ain't nobody hitting me back. Dude, don't even stress it. I'm telling you, I've been applying for stuff and I literally forget about it. I send the email, shit be gone for months. And they just, you know what I'm saying? Because things take time. Like you're not gonna apply for a grant today and think you're gonna hear back on Friday. No.
Yeah. Take like a month or so. Sometimes 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah.
Well,
you never know who's watching. Somebody, it's always some eyes on us. So
it's always, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the journey that you went through, and for those in TV land or maybe listening on the radio, we have interviewed SP Pope probably a year ago, almost to the day. I want to say somewhere around this time.
More than that.
Somewhere around this time, yeah.
And you know,
than this though, before I got sick.
You dropped so much gems in that one that, you know, I had to bring it up in this one. But first, I want to give your flowers first because off rip, you know what I'm saying? You've done a lot for the community. People, you don't say much, but your pictures, they speak volumes. I know every time I get on and I see something, I'm like, oh, I want that one. I got to have that one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Put Go Grizz on it. I need it.
Yeah.
You walked away from a job in which you've had, if my memory serves me correctly, for like 20 years or something like that. 10,
no, I was doing transit for off and on for like 18 years, but my last job that I left, I was there for 6 years.
So
yeah.
She said 18. You don't even look much older than 18.
Man,
we already discussed this once.
I know.
22, bro. 22, right? 22. But I say all that to say this. You done a lot. And you know, that day that you walked away from that transit company, you didn't know that you was gonna be on the board of Decorators.
Nah, I didn't know none of that.
I know you knew that you knew how to draw, but I didn't think that you knew that it would take you this far as your art would go. As far as the skateboards that you have produced, the one-of-a-kind customs with the bags, the shirts, the hoodies. I mean, like the whole journey. I see a lot of what you do. I don't always post a comment, but I do share, and I love what you do and your inspiration in its purest form. I don't care what nobody say. They gotta look to you and be like, "Oh man, that's a mountain I gotta climb because I don't know if I could be that creative." But you doing it, and we greatly appreciate you coming and speaking with us today. And all your accomplishments. You know what? I gotta clap and I gotta take my hat off just a little bit because you know it ain't shaved all the way, but we greatly appreciate you coming on the show.
Oh man, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm happy to be back and to share a little testimony. What's been going on and how much has happened over a year. Like I said, it's like kind of like a blur, and it's crazy. And it's like I'm learning more and more. The more programs and stuff I get into, the more I know, the more focused I become. And it's like helped me tremendously. And like I said, I think if I didn't take that leap of faith, none of this, like none of this would be cracking. I would still be, turning circles around the bus, and
Period.
So
waiting on another payday. So
yeah. Wow.
So yeah, this is like it's insane. I'm like, man. So yeah. So this program, the USC program that I'm in, this is like 10 weeks. A lot of it, because like this one is online. Lacey was online. But don't sweat it. It's a lot of Zoom meetings. That might be boring to some folks, but I'm telling you, the knowledge you're gonna gain in this stuff, these little business programs, I can't stress it enough. I'm telling you, things that you don't even you probably didn't even think about, business wise. And then a lot of them actually lead to, financial assistance and grants and stuff like that. So, that's another reason to check them out, because they always lead to something else. Um, so I'm telling you guys, like wherever you live, just start going online, like check, local government type stuff within the state, stuff within your county.
Mm.
If it sound like something you can do, I'm telling you, put your name in, start filling out them forms, and put your name on it, because a lot of this stuff, especially if it's free. If it's free and you slipping, you tripping.
There you go.
I'm telling you,
you
tripping. You tripping right there. If it's free info, you need to be on it.
So we ain't even had you shout out your socials and stuff before we get up out of here.
Okay. Let's start with Instagram. So Instagram is Squirrel Printz, and it's spelled SQRRLXPRNTZ. My Facebook is Squirrel Printz LA, and it's SQRRLXPRNTZ LA. My TikTok is Squirrel Printz. Again, that's SQRRLXPRNTZ. What else I got?
Website? You got a website?
Oh yeah, I forgot. I was about the website. That's the main one right there. Tripping. Tripping, man. Yeah, Squirrel Printz is it's www.squirrelprintz, and that's spelled exactly how it sounds. So SQUIRRELPRINTZ.com.
Yes, man, we got that.
That's a whole lot of spelling, I know.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's a whole lot of letters. I didn't really think that through when I first started. Like, why I got all these damn letters? But yeah, check out the website. I still got my Etsy shop. My Etsy has been going really well. You want to check that out. That's also Etsy.com, and that's Squirrel Printz. That's the name of the shop. Yeah.
So y'all check her out everywhere.
Like on my one difference is like on my website, I kind of like try to put like things that I feel like are super exclusive. I try to put it on my website versus putting it on my Etsy. So sometimes when I list stuff, I'll be like, oh yeah, it's on my Etsy, and then you might see something else, and because it's exclusive, I'll go ahead and it's exclusive in my eyes. I'll go ahead and I'll throw it on the website, because I'm trying to generate my traffic. Right. I'm trying to convert my sales traffic over to my website, and so I can go ahead and let Etsy go, because those fees, they kind of kill you a little bit. They're like the seller fees and stuff. So yeah, that's a little side note.
Gems all the way to the dough. Look at it. Hey, we greatly appreciate you coming on. Like I said, to our listeners out there, make sure y'all tap in, visit the websites. To our viewers, we greatly appreciate you coming on and watching. And we've been rocking with Squirrel Printz. So
I'm gonna try to put, because I have a lot of I do have a lot of footage from the trip, but I just haven't had to like took the time to like put it all together or make it into a video and stuff. So yeah, because I know like a lot of people like, okay, well, she's on this board, she ain't really posting nothing. Listen, y'all, I'm one person and I'll be mad busy. So yeah, me trying to keep up with social media and make sure I post every second of the day, that's not me. I can't do it. Shout out to T-shirt man Los, because that man, Lord knows,
Yeah.
he be on it, and I just be like, yeah, I can't do it. I'm sorry. So if I don't show you, if the footage don't show up for 2 months from now, just know that I went. It was a blast. Hey, that's it.
That's what it was.
Sure.
Like my daughter said, give what it was supposed to give, huh?
Man, it gave what it was supposed to give. Yep, that's it. But
So
yeah, I appreciate you guys.
I appreciate you too, Squirrel. We had to bring you back, highlight what you're doing. You're doing some great things, and
Salute to you.
have you, happy to know you. And I'm probably gonna be reaching out. I need a custom hat, but I ain't gonna tell the people because I don't want to.
Hey.
So
I know it because I'm secret squirrel, so I couldn't give y'all all the goodies either. I had to keep it on the low, but I get it.
So yeah, to all y'all out there, man, appreciate y'all. See y'all next time.
Peace.
Peace.